Chad, I'm coming for you. What's up, guys? What's up, my little blue-collar workers? This thing's dirty. What's up, big man, Smug Grinch, X Ultra? How y'all doing? It's scratchy. Uh-oh. I might have to, well, is it scratchy, or was it, I was, like, moving my mic around before I go and restart the camera. Bah. What's up, Ducky? Proto? Xavier? Give me a 2060. That'll sell better. Let me get this Discord announcement. Little popping noise? Okay. Let me, here, give me 1 second, guys. Screen's gonna go black. I'm gonna restart. Ming Ming. Ming Ming. All right, chat. What are we sounding like now? Clap sync? You guys don't need a clap sync. Honestly, there's no reason for it. What's up, Chaotic? Grimlong, how you doing? J Mervin. Vic. Yep, clap. Thank you for that. That's the clap sync. You get it. So we got a, this is like a pretty interesting build. Sometimes when I plan builds, I don't know. I see red, you know, because I know a lot of people see this as 74 in depth with a 1660 Ti. So that's DDR5 with a 1660 Ti. But this is kind of like a really specific build for like that PC Bros customer who's not looking to spend much, but like let's say they really want, you know, latest Ryzen, like for the upgrade path. They want DDR5, Gen 5 SSD. You know, it's going to be a pretty solid build, and then you get a 1660 Ti to hold you over in 1080p, and then eventually you can, you know, jump up to something like, you know, a 9070 if you wanted to. This build, I think, we're out of 650 watts, so I think this one's going to get the 750. So it really has upgrade path in mind. Is it worth jumping from a 3070 to it? From what, a 1660 Ti? I mean, it'd be a major upgrade. But if you're saying, is it worth doing the upgrade like from the 1660 Ti to help sell it? Hold on, guys, I'm gonna do copy text, pasta, copy pasta. Is the 5060 8 gigs? Yeah, oh yeah, is that announced now? 5060? It is, right? I honestly don't know. Is the RX 6600 5000 XT a good combo? Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, you could definitely handle a better GPU, but yeah, for esports titles, it's good. Hello, Princess. I hated everything about what I just did. 5060 Ti is like 500. Well, if you get the 8 gig version, it's like, it's cheap as like, what, $419? Yeah, just get the 5070, screw it. No, it's kind of how I feel about the 5060 Ti. Like, it's pretty worth it just to go 5070 unless you're like on a tight budget. Because 5070 is like, I know we got one yesterday for $549, which I will say it's really hard to do, but if you're patient, you can pull it off. So that definitely makes paying like $500 for the 16 gig 5060 Ti like not a good deal. Always in a tight budget. Feel that, feel that. I'll just put this up to the side. Get our screwdriver and our knife. Good to go. 5060 is out at 350 to 400 and being scalped. Oof. How's it looking? Has anyone seen performance videos yet? Like, can we get any? Is there any comparisons? How far off is it from something like the 5060 Ti, like 8 gig? Oh, 2 antennas, okay. What's up, Crow? fellow children. People who buy a 5060 are cherry flavored. Oh. I mean, if I was on a tight budget, I probably would, you know, just depends. But I don't know yet, because like I said, I don't know how the 5060 performs comparatively. I say performs. Finally woke up in time to watch the stream. Well, hello. What's up, queen? All right. So B650, we got our 7400F that already has thermal paste on it. Good morning. What would be the best cooler for my 5000X? Well, I mean, that's a really subjective question just because there's like 800 coolers you could choose from. It's really more of what can you fit in your case, and are you comfortable with going like with an all-in-one liquid cooler? Because like that'd be my move if you want like quote-unquote best. The 5060 performance FIDs are being called out for being NVIDIA deep throats. Really? Yeah, you know, NVIDIA, they were a little weird this go around. Do you know like what are the big names who released a video? Because I do know that it seemed like they were being a lot more quieter about the 5060 launch. Who is that? Oh, no, we're not doing none of that sky. What is that, blockchain? Stop it. So half of y'all probably can't see that. It's on YouTube. Someone's on Toasty Clips trying to be scammy. Is there a moderator in Toasty Clips right now? Like you two nosy, are you on there, or Xenos? I think that guy deserves a swift ban. I'm assuming it looked like a bot account, honestly. Oh, don't ban me. Well, I don't know. You seemed kind of body. Banned. What's up, ladies? What's up, Mafia? How you doing? 7400F installed, looking good. What am I doing for cooler on this? Oh, ID cooling. Oh, was that not here? Oh, crap. Oh, I could use that Thermalright cooler. All right. Price of the build's about to go up. I already upgraded the power supply to 750 watt, and now I'm about to put this. We had an extra Thermalright cooler. It's a really nice one though. It has an LCD display on the top that has the numbers. Pretty sick. Okay, so X120R. All right, let's change this quote up one more time. Thank you for the sub, Crow. Appreciate that. Just made my morning a little better. Guys, that's the Taco Bell fund right there. We might have to cop Taco Bell one day this week. I'm just saying. I think Zach's birthday's in, what is it? Would it be 3 days? I think 2 days, 1 day, something like that. So that's the assassin. You guys are local. Figured I'd give some local folks you might actually meet. Oh, thank you. That is a good point. You're not donating the money to like someone in California or somewhere you can't be, you know. Back once Blaze. Well, you know what? You got a good point. I guess if it's whenever his birthday is, I guess he can probably pick, you know. I say probably because I don't know. They might be giving him too much power, guys. Doing the classic IO shield as a knife. Anyone ever do this? Anyone ever had an IO shield cut you like a knife? Big L for me. I bought an EVGA PSU on eBay, missing cables, so you got to spend the moolah that you saved to replace the cables. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that's part of the way right there. It always cracks me up how like people who sell power supplies, they're always like that. Like they're always missing things. Same with motherboards. It's like no one ever takes the IO shield out of the case once they get rid of the build. So a lot of times when we buy like used boards, they never freaking come with the IO shield. I'm assuming fin stacks on coolers are that shape for aerodynamics and whatnot, but it'd be cool to see if there was some less blocky looking ones. Do you mean like, instead of it just being like a rectangle, if it was like cylindrical or just a different shape? I mean, really, that's just manufacturing cost, in my opinion, because, I mean, fans at the end of the day are pretty much always going to be designed to, you know, 120, 92, whatever. They're going to be designed to fit on a flat surface. So, you know, making the cooler shaped differently would probably add quite a bit of cost just because of the mounting and the fan and everything. Not for aerodynamics, for maximum surface area. I mean, that's probably a good point, too. What's up, Darks Gaming? How you doing? Congrats on all the messages, guys. Look at Restream complimenting you all. It's like, oh my god, good job. How much should I sell my 7700 XT with the original packaging? Well, I would just look at what they're going for in eBay. Is that where you're going to sell it, is eBay? I will say, if you sell in a marketplace, expect less. You know, probably whatever you see them selling for on eBay, probably 20% less than that. If I had to guess, though, I mean, I know new, we bought one not too long ago for like freaking $459.99, which is not a great price. Like, you were able to get that GPU new for a little bit for like $360, but obviously with the tariffs and all that good stuff, they definitely went up a lot. Hmm. 1660 Ti. Oh, someone asking what card it is. Yeah, like I said, it's kind of it's a unique build. It's a 1660 Ti with a 7400F. So basically, like, very entry-level AM5, kind of gets you up and running. But obviously, you can, you know, easily upgrade the GPU, sell this one, recoup a little bit of money from it. You can probably get about it. You can sell these for about 110, 120 bucks. So take that money, put it towards something like, I mean, we're putting a 750 watt power supply that has ATX 3.0 in it. So technically, you could upgrade all the way up to like a 5070 Ti, a 9070 XT. Yeah, Matt will not be here, yeah, all week. He's on vacay. Out of country type-ish. Lucky duck. Mm-hmm. I'm on vacation. I always thought these are so weird how they mount. So peculiar. Mexico? How'd you know? Yeah, I think he probably told you all. You're from Palestine. Wait, what is that? That's not how that's spelled, is it? Isn't it Palestine? But I think you're saying that you are Palestinian. Shorts idea. When you rage, what's your go-to throw? That should be kind of funny. I don't know if I'd say go-to throw just because there's probably some people here who don't rage that hard, or at least they don't throw stuff when they do, but it would be funny to do like a, what's like your, I'm trying to think. What's it like when you rage at home? You know, something like that. Or like show me an example of like a gamer rage. I usually hit like that, like silent, like that with the controller, you know? I probably just look like, if someone just gets rid of the sound on that, I'm gonna look like I have like needs. So there's something for y'all to do if you want. Just clip that with no sound. Rage in League? Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, Rage in League of Legends. I've seen it. I know that's like considered to be like one of the more toxic communities and toxic games in general, you know? Your rage comfort when gaming is cursing? I feel that. I definitely hit hit a curse word or two when I game, you know? So some of my friends hit a lot of words that I'm like, ah, God. Obviously not anything like super crazy, but definitely some insults where I'm like, brother, these people have a family. Yeah, it's cool. I use like a little USB 2. It's kind of like how you know, Corsair and DXT would communicate to get your LCD display. So this build just keeps getting freakier because of adding stuff to making it more expensive. Yeah, this build's gonna be a hard sale. And it's funny because like there's really not much profit in it, like at all. But it's just a 1660 Ti build for for the price it's gonna be listed for is well, a lot of people are gonna look at that and be like, wow, that's a scam. But it's just one of those weird things where it's like just changing out the one part, basically just changing out the GPU, and then bumping it up to like 1,000, for example, would be like a no-brainer. It'd be like, oh, cool, that's a good deal. So I guess if it doesn't sell anytime soon, we could do that. Make it a little more appealing, you know. Good morning. What's up, Death Toad? Speaking of gaming, I should get a little less in before Nora goes on vacation. Is that your wife? Is that one of these? No. Ooh, this is one of those fans that's gonna stay on. I like that. A lot of these fans, when you use this little metal bracket or the metal clips, I swear it feels like you're like holding it on with paper clips. I want to put my fan on and say that ain't going nowhere, you know? And I think that's how this one's making me feel. That ain't going nowhere. Hey guys, that's a motorsport channel for all kinds of motorsport fans, mostly German. Please subscribe. What is going on here this morning? I swear this morning it's like I have like the rogue people in the chat. I get like people like saying give money to blockchain, go support this channel. I can't with you all. You watched our new video yesterday in the gaming laptop. Yeah, what did you think about that? Because I know that it's a very subjective thing. Because I know some people, you know, if you can play anything at 720p, you consider that like light gaming. And I'm not saying that's wrong. Like Matt and I, we're the budget bros. But I will say, as the years go on, I think I have slowly gotten a little more strict on what I consider to be like gaming. You know what I mean? You can't screw these fans in. Yeah, I wish you could. Most fans don't screw in. Most of them use like the little, this guy here. See, it literally like it's like actually like a paper clip. It's just shaped differently. And I'm saying some of them feel like really flimsy. Like it feels like you are using a paper clip. That one was pretty tight, so I'm not too worried about it. It's like I'm not trying to play Roblox at 720p, bro. Well, and that's what I mean. Like, depending on who you are, you know, if you're just playing Minecraft and Roblox, that laptop will probably do it 1080p low settings, especially with dual channel RAM. So if that's the case, then that would be light gaming for you. But I think the issue is nowadays, games are just getting harder and harder to run to the point that, like, I mean, you guys saw the benchmarks. Even like a game like Apex Legends, which runs like almost anything, like it was not playable. And when I turned on 720p, it literally looked like I had like aimbot. I don't know what was happening, but it was like artifacting, glitching and shit. So I just think that putting gaming in the title just shouldn't be done. I think in the description is fine, or at least if they're gonna put light gaming, because they get like, you know, they do the freaking classic eBay crap where it's a picture of the laptop with like some AAA title on it. I don't even know if there was. It might have been like PUBG or something, but I just feel like maybe just a picture of the laptop, no game on the screen, and putting office/work laptop, you know, light gaming. That'd be a little more acceptable, right? But it's just having like an actual game on the screen, to me just feels like clickbait. It's like, oh, this is literally a laptop, I'm gonna buy this just for gaming, let's go, and it's 300 bucks, oh yeah, awesome deal. But it's like, especially because they're kind of selling you on the fact that it literally has a game running on it. But I really think it should be marketed differently. And you know, on the flip side, I don't know if there's anyone commenting this, but I was thinking someone's going to comment it. You know, at PC Bros, we sell 2 PCs that we call our upgrade paths, like our starter PCs. One of them is an 8600G. One of them is a i3-12100. Now it's going to a 14100. We sell those for, I mean, double, right? Like those PCs are like, you know, $500 to $700. And the whole idea is you buy them, and we basically have benchmarks on the video of how to play games. And, you know, they don't play them super well, obviously, and because the whole idea is you're buying that PC to put your own graphics card in it, either right when you get it or eventually. So I think like that's an okay way to market light gaming. But if you're like, oh, hey, just buy this laptop as is, you obviously can't upgrade it, and it's good for gaming, it's like, yeah, it's a little bit false, you know. I don't like. Now, if that laptop was, I will say, we have a laptop that we sell here. It's like, you don't see it on the website, it's only in person, but at PC Bros, if you ever come in store, we have a laptop that we keep on hand. It's a 7520U with 8 to 16 gigs of DDR5. It's usually a 256 to 512 gig NVMe SSD. I don't market it as gaming, but I sell them for $350 at my shop. And they're usually new with a warranty. And so basically very similar price to the eBay seller, and you're getting a good amount better performance. And that one I don't even market as light gaming, but I tell people if they ask, like if they're like, oh, I want to play World of Warcraft, I want to play League of Legends. I'm like, okay, this laptop will do that. I wouldn't buy it just for doing that, but if you're like, you know, going to be using this for Netflix, office work, like heavy office work even, and you just want to be able to play a game every so often, I'm like, this is a good laptop for that. The one that we bought, I'd definitely say is a little bit lesser on that spectrum. What monitor would pair nicely with what I have? You're talking about the Arc B580? I mean, you know, if you're looking for like good visuals, 1440p, chaotic. Look at the brands like KTC and Karui, because they kind of look like your name actually, so that's cool. But no, those are both brands that we really like. We've used them a lot. I will say KTC is a pretty good one because they actually make a lot of the monitor panels for like the OEMs. 5070 or 4070 for a game, well, 5070 obviously. I mean, the 4070 is still a great card if you can get it for like, I mean, originally those cards you could get for like $450 to $500. Now you can get the 5070 for like $550 to $600. You do get a performance uplift on the 5070. You're getting some new technology. You're getting better ray tracing, better streaming performance, better upscaling if you're into that. So I would definitely go 5070, unless you find some great deal, which I doubt you will, on a 4070. Asus Tough F15. Those are cool laptops, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, hey, that's an actual gaming laptop. Since we're on a laptop rant this morning, you know. This RAM's pretty cool, guys. It's, I like still seeing, now don't get me wrong, I do tell people, I'm like, if you're building a DDR5 system, just go 32 gigs. It's not that much more. But I will say for like a build like this where I'm literally doing the cheapest Ryzen CPU with a very budget GPU, I really didn't want to go 32 gigs. Honestly, at this point, I might as well have. But I managed to get this RAM for $46. So it's 16 gigs dual channel DDR5. And with the way you're going to be using a 1660 Ti, or like let's say you upgrade slightly to like a, no, this is the right way. You want the air blowing that way. But let's say you upgrade to something like a 5060, or something a little more modest. The 16 gigs is going to be enough, just because all these modern cards have plenty of VRAM on them. And on top of that, unless you're really forcing like AAA titles, or like there's some esports titles that use a lot of VRAM, or sorry, RAM. But 16, Matt and I consider 16 to be like the minimum, you know, nowadays. And I mean like for like good gaming, not like minimum for like entry level. But obviously if you want like the best performance and you don't want to have to worry about having any like headroom issues, then, you know, going 32 is a good idea. For sure. Yeah, this one will be a pretty sleek little build. You guys are lucky you don't have to hear bombing every day. You're very right about that. We're quite fortunate. I'm sorry that you're having to go through that. $64 is ideal. You think so, Plum? I think, I mean, none of us here have 64. I think the most we have here, well, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Zach here has 48 gigs or something like that, because he was having trouble with After Effects, and we figured that might help a little bit, and I think maybe it has. I think McAllister has 32 gigs of DDR5, and he's like the main editor. Matt might have 64 because he got that main gear PC. Oh, N64, like Nintendo 64. Okay, that's not the topic I thought we were talking about. Okay, different. I like that. Wrong camera. We go zoom. I have 48 gigs. Did you get like a 48 gig kit, Grimlong? Those are interesting. I don't know how to feel about them. I mean, I guess they're cool. It was weird though, because remember when we did our RAM test, and I thought 48 gigs was like oddly slower, like when comparing all the different RAM capacities. And it wasn't by much. It was just like a couple. We were only testing gaming, by the way, which isn't the most adequate test for RAM, but. Your PC has 32 gigs of DDR5. That is very true, Chaotic. No, it's definitely like the god tier bang for buck number, I'd say. I threw an extra 32 in mine, so I'm at 48 total. Yeah, that's like fairly common to go from like 16 then adding your 32. 48's a good number. It's nice though because you can have 4 sticks, and I think 4 sticks definitely looks the best. It just sucks with the whole XMP issue, which I don't get how that's still like a problem. Like I know that sometimes it's not, but sometimes it is. And it's like frustrating because it's like, man, I would love to be doing a lot of builds with 4 sticks. When DDR4 was like the main standard, a lot of the high-end builds I had to do 4. I didn't think it looked good without 4. It was Lollapalooza chat. I gotta turn this ish up. There y'all go. Guess probably still can't hear it. What's the max GPU pair for 5500? I wouldn't. So the weird thing about the 5500 is you can actually go kind of high end. Like just to throw out a card, if you're wanting new, I'd say like 5060 Ti, which I don't know, that might be a little risky with it being basically that's a Gen 3 only CPU. So your NVMe's and your PCIe lane bandwidth will be limited to Gen 3, and the 50 series is on Gen 5. So if you want like no bottleneck, technically 20 series is your best bet. So if you go on eBay and you look up like, I'd probably say like a 2070 Super would be great. I know you guys can really hear the music. It's more of like a, Matt and I always joke, it's like for us, I could always put I can put a second mic next to it if you guys want me to. Here, you know what, I'm curious to see. Let's see what that ends up sounding like. Once one of the dudes gets here though, they'll probably steal the mic, but. All right, I'm clipping it. How's that, can you guys hear it now? I feel like these mics do such a good job at like noise cancellation. Hopefully you don't hear like an echo. I don't know why you would, because Matt and I wear these every day and there's no problem, so. Do games just crash for no reason? My temps were all below 60. RoboCop crashed suddenly, no issue since then. Yeah, they do. That's kind of, I like how your name is, oh, it's Dr. Cash. That was Dr. Crash. So, in the PC gaming world, I will be very honest, and just PCs in general, they're not like consoles. They don't always just work. Thank you, Scrazed, for the sub. They don't just always work. So naturally, you're gonna get crashing, you're gonna get lags, you're gonna get random, lockups, sometimes blue screens even. Like, I don't think I've ever had a build, and maybe some of you guys can tell me if you've had a build that's just perfect. I don't think I've ever had a PC that's just like perfect. I wish I could say I have, but they almost always have issues. Oh, by the way, is this what I'm thinking it is? Yeah, shout out Okinos, by the way. So Okinos actually sent over 10 of their new case line. I don't know why they sent 10, but I wasn't gonna tell them, no, only send 1. So this right here is their new case to the market. It's called the Mirage 4. So they have like 3 different lineups that I know of. We have the the Aqua lineup, which is going to be your skinnier, more traditional style case, you know, with the basement, power supply goes in the basement. Good amount of airflow. They all pretty much all come with fans, but they have like the Aqua 3, 5, 7, and then they have the Aqua Air, which is the same thing but non-RGB. Comes with some black fans instead. Next up, you have the Mirage lineup, which is going to be your dual chamber style case. So the 4 is like, I guess, a slightly larger micro ATX. The dual chamber, when I say slightly larger, I mean, this is actually a really small case, but I think it might be larger than their, I think because they have a Mirage 2, don't they? And they probably have like a 6 or a 7. I'm kind of guessing. I haven't used the Mirage cases a ton. And then they also have, which is probably one of my favorite lineups, the Cypress, which that's going to be like your wood front. It looks pretty similar to the, I think they're basically the same as the Aqua, just wood front. Black fans typically. So, yeah. Shout out to Okinos. Appreciate them sending that over. I mean, it's not like it was just like a freebie that we're not gonna use or like that we're doing just because they were free. Like we actually do buy their cases now in bulk. So, it works out for us. I guess you have mixed take on that. No PC never crashes, but I do feel like PC builds just work these days. I wish. I mean, you know, I will say comparatively to like, you know, when I first started building like 10 years ago, yeah, stuff works a lot better. Drivers are much more automatic, which is cool. But I will say, yeah, owning a PC business and having to deal with repairs, because we do warranties, and we also do repairs, by the way, like off-the-street repairs. I see a lot of issues that come in, and it's actually wild how many PC problems there still are out there in the wild. Even Expo and XMP is interchangeable now. Yeah, for the most part. You just can't have more than 2 sticks, right? Okay, I'm gonna remove this little, they got like a little SSD mount in the back here. I often end up removing these on like the dual chamber cases because honestly I find it's just harder to build when they're installed. For the 5070 i7 1200KF, that'd be a good choice. I will say, check the market and make sure you can't find like a 14th gen for like a very similar price or even Ultra. Because you might be able to find, assuming you don't already have the 12700KF. Now, I wouldn't be scared of the whole oxidization issue anymore because like that's pretty much all been fixed. So as long as you buy like a newer board, like a B760, or if you go like Ultra, they're all gonna have like BIOS flashes for the most part that'll make sure that issue doesn't happen. Bing, bing. ObsBot. Yeah, that's hey, that's another shout out. I know we're just talking about Okinos. This is our ObsBot webcam. So this is a 4K webcam that I'll come down to. I'll say the lighting here is a little strange, probably because we got a black case there. It's kind of a little bright, but yeah, this, did I miss some other word screw? You're probably thinking about the edges here. Yeah, you made me look. These ones here don't have the risers installed. And honestly, I don't really care to install them. Like, you can, but you do not need them. So yeah, this is the ObsBot 4K webcam. I believe that is an affiliate link. I don't know if it is. It should be. I hope it is, because we've helped them sell a lot of webcams, I think. But yeah, it's a webcam that we actually really like. We use it a lot. We use it every day here. We use it for a lot of our like streaming setups and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Only the real G's have ObsBot. Very true. Cowards, this build, I'm like almost embarrassed to say it, honestly. So it's gonna be for sale at PC Bros. I want you guys to know the profit margin is very low on it. Like, we're making under $100, so before you guys freak out. So we're gonna be selling this one for $800, but calm down. It's gonna have a warranty. It is a brand new case to the market. It's not a super cheap case. I mean, it's just like a $75 case. 7400F, so you're getting 6-core 12 thread. You're getting Gen 5, which is pretty cool. It is just getting a 1660 Ti. So that's really the only, like, that's the caveat to this build. But you are getting a very nice B650M Lightning that has Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth built in. the Clev C910 1TB Gen 4, upgrade path in mind. 16 gigs of DDR5, Team Group Elite 4800 megahertz, and that is 2x8, so it's dual channel. We have a 750 watt Sigotep going in there, so once again, upgrade path. This cooler is pretty dope. It has a digital display that'll tell you the temperature. Like I said, 800, I know it's expensive. That's why I was saying I may, if this build doesn't sell, I might just have to upgrade the GPU and just sell it for a good amount more. But yeah, this build already has very low profit margin, so it's not like we're just making a fortune on it. And I'm more of just, I had some of these parts on hand, like I had the 7400F on hand. Obviously, Okinos was nice enough to send over the cases. So we're definitely passing on some deals to you guys. It just doesn't seem great because 1660 Ti. Yeah, it's a big power supply. So AM5 for 800 is not bad. Well, it's not, but 1660 Ti. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just one of those, you know, I get from a consumer standpoint. Listen, you guys are the OGs. That's why we like you all. You guys actually kind of get running a business, and you guys know that Matt and I aren't just trying to make like max dollar and everything, but obviously a lot of our viewers don't think that. A lot of the people that stumble on our channel just see numbers, or they see us and they're like, oh, these guys must be making a fortune. They're multimillionaires. They're ripping kids off, and it's like, no, not at all actually. Like I said, if this build had more profit, I'd be selling it for cheaper, but we're already making under $100 on it. And that's with a warranty, so that's assuming nothing goes wrong. If anything goes wrong, we're instantly negative. And being negative in business is not ideal, believe it or not. All right, so we need to hook up our RGBify this build. I do like this case. The hub's pretty small. It only has 4 ARGB headers, but we're only using 3, so we have an extra one. Oh my God, I just almost broke it. Here we go. Oh, watch it, baby. Can you guys hear the music now? Why are people still buying new Intel CPUs? I feel like it just doesn't make sense. Well, because it still can. Like, they're not bad CPUs. I think that's a common thing that we see in the PC community is once a few tech people say like, oh, you know, Intel sucks now because they had this oxidation issue. It's like, well, that's been fixed. They did really good responding to that. Not at first, but eventually they got to a point where they're like, well, they'll RMA any CPU that has had oxidation issues. All you have to say basically is, hey, my CPU's dead, and they'll send you a new one for free. And on top of that, if you get like 12 through Ultra now, they're basically saying that it doesn't really affect the CPUs anymore because of microcode updates and stuff. Yeah, they definitely, you know, it was a streak of bad luck. I don't think that they did anything wrong to have the oxidation issue. It was really, from what I remember, it seems like a lot of the motherboards were pushing the CPUs too hard. So it was really almost Intel basically saying, hey, here's this awesome CPU, and then I think it was like ASRock was one of the big ones. They're basically like, hey, here's this motherboard that'll literally push the CPU until it like borderline blows up, you know? So I think it was kind of on them and the other companies not communicating well enough maybe, and not really knowing the limits. Now, we build with Ryzen a lot. Like, most of the builds you're gonna see are usually gonna be Ryzen. So don't get me wrong, we do like AMD a lot. I just don't think that Intel should be like written off as like you just shouldn't buy from them anymore. Because honestly, I kind of think it displays ignorance in a way. It's one of those things where like the consumer market is very easily swayed, and it's like once one thing goes wrong, people become brand whores, and that's the last thing that we want. You know, to keep capitalism and consumerism good, you want to have competition. You don't want. I get that AMD is good, but like if we just let AMD take over, they're going to become how Intel was back in the day, which Intel was kind of like. I mean, you know, they were with Apple and everything. They were like that unstoppable force. They kind of were just shitting on AMD and, you know, borderline like making fun of them in a way. And then once Ryzen came out, they really clapped back. And so you still want to have that healthy balance. And I still, you know, a lot of us here are running Intel. That's the funny part. I tell people this. So in the other room here, Matt's PC is a 14900 KS. Jonah's PC is, I think, 13th. I think it's a 13600K or a 13700KF. Zach's PC is an i5 13600K. McAllister's PC, I believe, is either a 12600K or like a 14600K. My PC is the only one that has Ryzen in the other room. I have a Ryzen 7700. So I'm the one running Ryzen at home and here, the only one. And I'm the one who's still saying, guys, like, don't just shit on Intel and say they're not worth going with. Now, would I go out of my way to build my own PC with Intel right now? No, I wouldn't. But I do think that if you find a really good like Newegg combo, or if you already have your Intel CPU, whatever, like I still think that there's use cases for Intel for sure. It's all about price to performance, guys. All about price to performance. And our PCs here get pushed very hard. So, you know, they definitely go through it. I never put in the SSD, guys. What are y'all doing? You're supposed to be babysitting me. Ryzen is better in gaming, right? Not necessarily. That's what I'm saying is, if you compare like a, let's just say current gen, a Ryzen 5 9600X versus a Ultra 5, I'll be honest, I'm like, let's compare. I don't know the gaming difference. I don't think it'd be much. I think it'd be very little difference. Now price, 9600Xs are what, like $219 with no cooler. The Intel, how much is the Ultra 5? You can get that, right? That's how little we have built with it. I assume it's like a couple $100. Rocking 12600K in your personal, all PCs that you sold were AM4, AM5. Oh yeah, for sure. Intel catch back up eventually. I believe there is only so much more we can get out of the current CPU tech. All right, no, I agree with that too. You get those generational jumps where it's like every like 3 to 5 generations you get a massive jump, and then the next 3 to 5 you get like very little performance gains, and people are pissed about it every time. Matt and I are used to it. Like that's the thing is, we've been doing this for so long, over 10 years now, that we've been building PCs and keeping up with the market that, we're really not that excited for much of anything anymore, and we don't really expect much. We usually expect whenever something comes out, all the news and hype always say, oh, this is gonna be 50% better with 50% less power consumption, and it's gonna dominate the market, and then it ends up coming out and it's 5% better, it costs 25% more. Like that's how it goes literally like almost every time. But people are really good at, really overhyping things and having good speculation, like too good of speculation. But then what happens is then once it comes out and all the people that have speculated that it's gonna be so good, everyone's like drastically disappointed, They're like, holy crap, this is horrible. 4090 performance for $500. Yep. And realistically, to get 4090 performance, you really, honestly, you really need like a 5080 or better. Even the 5090 really wasn't, I don't know if anyone can say raw numbers, but like with no upscaling, how much better was the 5090 than the 4090? Like 15%? And you're literally going from a card that you could at one point get for like $1,400 to $1,600 all the way up to like $3,500. And that's like base, $3,200 to $3,500. That is true, Intel does dump their CPUs pretty quick. Yeah, because like we had, it was cool, Intel did go a little longer with 12th to 14th gen. They came out fast, but that was, for Intel, that was a long support. They supported it for 3 generations. And now we have Ultra, of course, which it seems like, I think they've already confirmed the next Ultra launch is probably gonna be on a new platform. So I really hope for Intel's sake that when they do that it's a good amount better. Otherwise, I'm like, wow, you guys really are making people switch platforms. And that'll definitely be not a great look for them, which I could see that happening. I'm expecting that, honestly. I think that whenever they come out with the next Ultra lineup, and let's say like, it needs a new board because it's a different socket type, I can honestly see them not being much better than like 14th gen still. And yeah, people will be very upset about that. So remember this, Intel. But like I said, it's better to expect that and then get that outcome than to be like, Intel's gonna make a comeback with this next launch, because then, you won't be as disappointed. Bing, 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 bing. Cyber Demon, what's up? You feeling better today? Like you haven't been hit by a train? You know, it's funny, Tyler texted me this morning. He said he's gonna be late because he feels like he got, I think he said hit by a train or semi. Well, this is actually funny. 7400F met into a video where we finally delidded a CPU. We had never done it before. And the 7500F before and after the delidding, because we put liquid metal on it, it was a really good performance. I was surprised. Sorry, the performance wasn't much different. Because the CPU, people really are over dramatic when they say it runs hot. It runs hotter than, you know, if you change the thermal paste out. But I think with the max temps we saw were like, I don't know, you have to watch the video because it's been a minute. But the long story short is it runs warm for what it is, not hot necessarily. But I will say this is the actual one from the video. So what I did is I took the liquid metal off because honestly I didn't trust it. It's always viscous, I don't like that. So I ended up putting some Arctic MX5 on there, got a really good spread, and then I re-glued it. So it's now a normal whole CPU again. It's not gonna like fall apart or anything. And I retested it in the benchmark station with a little air cooler, and the temps, they were good. I think I managed to drop the temps maybe like 5 or 6 degrees Celsius from the original video. So it's kind of like in between the liquid metal and the stock thermal paste. But that's what's weird about the 7400F is most of the new CPUs are soldered IHSs. So they're like soldered down to the chip, and that has really good thermal conductivity. But this CPU, it's basically just thermal paste on the die, and then they put the IHS on top of it, and then they glue it down. Why not a Super 1660? Well, the 1660 Ti is better than the 1660 Super, and they're like almost the same price. So that's why. Guys, we're getting kind of near the home stretch here. I've been yapping, you know? Yap, yap, yap. Paid $600 for your 4070 Super. God, isn't that crazy to think about that at the time you think it's expensive? It's kind of like the, you know, that's history. It repeats itself a lot. It's like gas prices. You remember, I'm sure that when your grandparents saw gas go up to 50 cents, they were like, damn, this is getting overpriced. Little did they know. This power supply area is like, just barely fits it. What did I miss today? You know, just been a lot of talking, honestly. It's a pretty simple build. This is a new case from Okinos. I think you can buy it. I say I think because like I genuinely don't even know if it's like fully out yet. I may have just leaked something, I don't know. You get the 6800 XT for $350 when Ethereum died. You'd fight someone for that today? Yeah, that's a good deal. That'll work. All right, time to run some cables. I'm gonna move this to here so you guys can get like the front POV. There we go. Mirage 4 is an Amazon confirmed. Thank you, Smoot. How much is it, by the way? Is it cheaper than I thought? I think I put 75. I know Okinos is normally pretty cheap, but this case is different, so I don't know. Now we're gonna go from the same spot as the 3.0. 60 bucks? Oh, okay, that's actually not bad. That's not bad at all. Look at Okinos, they're just always so cheap. Love that. I love that for them. Yeah, guys, pretty soon, all of the PC Bros staples, not fully by choice, because the PVS supposedly is stopping production of the Prodigy, which you can still buy. It's weird. I don't really know when they're stopping it, or if maybe they're just they don't want to mass produce them anymore. But because of that, we had to go with a new case, which honestly, blessing in disguise. We're now going with Okinos. So a lot of our staple builds and a lot of the builds you just see in general will now be in like things like the Aqua 3. We'll probably use some of the Cypress cases, which is like the wood front panel. I love that case. I think it's like the best micro TX price to performance case, because they're like, you can get them as cheap as like $55. They come with, what is it, 4 black 120mm fans that are actually pretty decent fans, a wood front with good ventilation, chef's kiss of a case. Full power supply basement, great airflow. Definitely what a lot of these case companies should aspire for, you know? Is the RX 580 good for anything these days? Well, good for anything, yes. It's still good for certain applications. It's still good if you're playing a lot of like older titles, or if you're playing like indie titles, stuff like that, you know, things that don't need a lot of graphics power. But in all honesty, because they have kind of stopped, you know, driver support, and not like fully, you can still go download them. They're only updating them like once every like few months, if that. They may have already pushed like the last update for all I know. So it's one of those cards where if you get it for like $50, and I'm not talking the 2040, I'm talking the real one, like 50 to 70, it's still a good card for that price. I will say though, for like an extra 20, 30 bucks, it's not in the build yet, but 1660 Ti for an extra like 20, 30 bucks, 6 gigs of GDDR5, and it's a good amount better raw performance, and it still has driver support. I think that these cards will still have driver support for the next, like, honestly, couple years at least. Maybe not at least, but next couple years. Because I think they still have driver support for 900 series. And then we still have support for 10 series, obviously, so 16 series still has a little ways to go before it loses it. This would be cool if I could run this through here, but it's a tight fit. Let's see. Oh yeah. Jackson, is it worth it to upgrade a DDR5 but keep the same CPU? Are we talking, so you have 12th gen or something live free? No. You don't really see much performance uplift. You'd have to buy a whole new board. If you just want to do it and you feel like you want to keep, like if you have a 12700KF, which is a good CPU, and if you want to run that for a long time, you have 13th gen, okay. I mean, you're gonna spend probably about $300 on 32 gigs of DDR5 and a new motherboard. Like, especially if you go with the Z board, you're not gonna see anywhere near $300 worth of performance. You'd get much more out of like a CPU upgrade. So I wouldn't do it personally. I would almost just wait until you're gonna do a whole platform swap. So basically like a few years down the road probably. But yeah, you don't really see much performance uplift, believe it or not, going with, oh my god, I put a Molex connector on this freaking power supply. You don't see much going from DDR4 to 5. I remember when it came out, I thought you would, but then you can look up videos too if you want. There's a lot of videos comparing it. There may be some games and some applications. If I remember, I think there's some applications where you see like a decent performance uplift, and I mean like a few percentage. But I think in most games it was like, I mean, little to none, you know? That's the reason why we always say don't worry about XMP, because like a lot of times with XMP, really, you don't see much performance uplift at all. $12700K, you won't swap motherboard and RAM until it released. Until what released? What are we talking about? Your first PC last year was an i7-A700 with the 1660 Super. That's not a bad build to start with. Not bad at all. The only real downside with a build like that is, you know, it's kind of like a use it as is. I wouldn't upgrade it more from what it already is. I would just wait until, you know, you're ready, like you save up, you can sell that build or give it to someone to get a whole new build. Dude, this is a clean freaking car. Look at this thing. Look at that. Not a speck of dust on it. It's a good looking card too. It's a MSI, is that a Frozer model? Yeah, Twin 7 Frozer. Very clean. Good job to whoever we got this from. Twin Frozen, yeah, that one. They're, you know, honestly, for how, like, considered old they are now, they're good-looking cards. A lot of cards were not I think, like, just recently, pretty much all cards, kind of standard, look really good. But before that, it was pretty standard. Like the freaking MSI armor cards, oh, dude, those all looked horrible. I mean, we used them a ton. Like, I am so familiar with the freaking 580 and like the 20 and 16 series, like MSI armor cards with like either the red or the white and black shroud. They got the job done. They just didn't run super cool and they were just ugly. The only downside is this bracket's a little bit bent, but we will fix that. We'll fix that. Little love bin. Boop. Boop. Looking good now. You love the 10 series Duke line? The Duke line was cool. We really didn't use a lot of those. You know what I remember kind of liking was EVGA. Well, I liked all the EVGA cards, but I thought the KO cards were kind of cool, and like the XC like black cards, because a lot of those had like the kind of like somewhat transparent like smoky shrouds. They were definitely different, you know, they were unique. Oh no, the cable's twisted. There we go. I was waiting for that snap. The snap, crackle, pop. Rice Krispies. Gonna get some zip tie action on the front of the build, and then we're gonna get some zip tie action on the back of the build, and then we're done. That bass. So how loud is the music right now? And does this sound good? Because I literally just have a mic next to it. So I would think it's not the best quality, but it's fine. Ooh, only fine. Barely hear it, TBH. Okay, well, I mean, that's honestly what I wanted. I didn't want it to be like loud. I just knew you guys couldn't hear it like at all before. So is this better than before? Because the rest of the week, I'll do that. I'll put the mic by the speaker if you guys want me to. But if you think it sounds bad or if it's annoying, then I won't. You'd like to see some zip tie action on Jonah? Oh, goodness. You want me to tie him up when he gets here? All right, chat. I think we're looking very on time. I think I'm gonna cable manage the back and we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this thing on though, because I kind of want to make sure everything's looking good in the front, like all the RGBs working and stuff. Why, because you have frap? Yeah. You get the good kind, dude. Oh, cool. You were feeling yourself today, weren't you? Yeah. I like the shirt, where'd you get that? This is like a gym brand. Oh, okay, I didn't even see you had your cookie crumble in front of it.
Thanks. Where's the mic?
They wanted to hear the music.
Oh, that's pretty smart. Now you get to hear my annoying ass voice. Hello, chat.
That's exactly, I said, you guys get to hear the music until someone shows up and takes it.
Mm-hmm.
You put the mic on, everyone says, what's that loud, annoying buzzing sound?
I don't know what it is playing, but hopefully it's not copyright.
It's not. It's just Hair Seller.
Hair Seller. I haven't heard this Hair Seller song before. It's new.
What
What is good, Chaotic 76? Sup, Grimace?
Buddy, you hooked me up with the heat. Thank you.
You like it?
That is awesome.
You know what's funny is I actually didn't buy that. I'll be honest, I didn't know when your birthday was. I bought that like a couple weeks ago, and then I was like, oh wait, his birthday's coming up.
Jonah, I'm liking the videos on the other Toasty/PC YouTube channel. Thank you very much, man.
No problem.
I think it's sick.
I tend to do a good amount of PC related content too, since I'm always around it, and I always end up finding something I want to do, or like a build that I want to do myself. So
Yeah, this one's a freaky build, dude.
Uh-oh.
7400F with a 1660 Ti for $1,200. I'm just kidding. It is really expensive though. Hey, but chat said they understand, so I'm hoping someone who buys it gets it, you know? I also had to make like 8 audibles.
I see that.
Well,
It went
we're out of 650s.
Oh god.
Thanks, Secotep. We have more coming finally. I figured all that out. And then the cooler, I guess, wasn't here, and I just didn't notice. So I ended up putting that one that didn't work out from yesterday in it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That was a $40 cooler.
Buddy. You're on your no sugar start.
Oh no, I mean, I just said I was trying to be better about it.
Oh, I thought you said no sugar at all.
I mean, so the cost is like $660.
No, well, I was telling Chad, I
So
said
it's
it's
like
not a high profit build.
It's a $140 profit. That's like after.
Well, that's without labor and everything too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Realistically,
just,
no money's gonna be made on it. Really, it just. Yeah.
No, Chad gets it. I said, you know what? I don't need to explain this to you guys. You all are the cool ones. It's the other audiences we got to watch out for. Using extra power supply?
I already took pictures of the build and the spec list and price and sent it in a bunch of different servers.
Just to see what people think.
Yeah.
You said, hey, can I get a thought check on this?
How do you guys not get burnt out on doing builds and researching them?
We don't research anymore. We just build. I'm not kidding. We just when something new comes out, we'll usually get it sent to us,
We usually just build it wrong.
and then yeah, it's like for the longest time the only build, like one of the most popular builds we would do is a 7600X and a 4070 Super, and now it's a 9600X with a 5070. That's 750 watt power supply, 32 gigs of RAM, some B8 something motherboard, and then you're good. So
Watching Zach play games at 3 a.m. was a standout part of the 48-hour stream. Someone had to be the night.
Jonah, is that your new cologne?
Hmm?
Is that your new cologne that you're wearing?
One of them.
newer. Dude, I feel like my ozone layer is like depleting. No, it smells good.
It's projecting pretty heavily right
dude,
now.
it is strong.
It's green apple.
Yeah,
I
like
didn't even smell it.
No, it smells. Oh, dude, as soon as he walked in, like I feel like I'm like inhaling it, dude. Like every time I talk, my breath
I haven't
feels
gotten- I haven't gotten the sprays
high
yet.
pitch, you know.
Dude in the green hoodie is always funny in the shorts.
And I
video.
can't decide if I
That's
like
me.
it or not either. Like I like it, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. What's the
Chat,
sweet spot in
do-
DDR5?
Is there
Green apple seems seasonal.
is there anyone in here who doesn't know that Zach's like joking in a lot of the shorts? Is there anyone that thinks it's real?
Sweet spot on DDR5, 32
So
gigs,
organic.
easy.
Non-GMO.
If you want the best bang for your buck, get like some Team Group T Create Expert, DDR5 6000 CL30. It's like $87. Worth it.
He is always serious.
Seriously dumb.
No,
Amen, brother.
yeah, this is fine. I mean, this is a
It's just the 1660 Ti, like, but the build is a really good upgrade path in mine, like really good.
You could put like a 5070 in this thing.
That's what I was saying.
Actually,
He seriously didn't accept my Facebook friend request. I do not use Facebook, like, at all. I'm pretty sure I have, like, 72 messages from Jackson.
If that tells you anything.
yeah, I love the Expert RAM. It's really fun to use it.
This is that new case from Okinos, the Mirage.
Oh, is it the
4.
Mirage 2?
Mirage
4?
4.
4. The 2 has no RGB fans.
I guess not. I guess that is the only difference, isn't it?
I don't think I love it that much. I would rather just get the.
Today's stream sponsored by Okinos. Jonah said he loves the case.
I think someone in chat said the rear fan and the cooler aren't aligned. They look pretty low to me.
Oh yeah. I don't think you can lower the.
Not anymore.
No, it's already as low as it'll go. That only bothers some people.
It bothers me, but and sometimes I fix it, sometimes I don't.
I will
I
say
see.
this case for the price though. Jonah's saying he doesn't like it because, well, it's a typical 270
Shout out
degree
to the
like.
sky.
There-
The resub prime.
If you don't like these
Shout out.
cases, you don't like them. You know what I mean? You're never gonna
No.
find one that you love.
I like these cases.
He doesn't
But-
like them usually.
I wish it was longer. Like just whoop. If it was like here, for 360 mil
It was just
support.
Yeah, I'm like, it's a micro AT. Like, dude, this is like the smallest dual chamber
So
case
is,
I've ever
so
built.
is the DIY PC Q3.
It's a cube.
The Q3 sucks compared to this.
Does it?
Yeah.
It can support 360 mil though.
Why would you want a 360 mil on a micro ATX?
Well, it just looks good, and then you can. And on top of that, the Q3 also has the fans on the side, which I do like.
I think a 240 mil makes a lot more sense for anything you're gonna put in a micro ATX budget. It's a $60
It does,
case.
but it's just the way that they have to run the cables.
I think it's too long. I think it should be like cut
Like cut in half.
here and then just like tall.
Oh my god.
Oh, like an H1 or the
Yeah,
Corsair
you're cooking,
2000D. Or what do I have? Is it the 1000? I don't
I
even know.
think so.
That is true. The Q3 does have the side intake, but see, that's what drives me freaking bonkers about the Q3 and the Q1 is when these fans are here, you get that stupid ass, like half the boards overhang the fans or shit
that's
like
the
that.
That's the Cube one, but the Q3 doesn't overhang.
Got the Cube one?
They have a Cube 01, is what they call it.
It's cube with a cube.
Bluetooth connected.
Did we just get hacked?
But
Not me.
they're listening in on us. But no, the
My Bluetooth is off.
no, that's how the Q3 works, because it doesn't have any overhang, and there's also room for cables to run through, if I'm remembering right. So
I don't know. I guess if it's a 360 mil, I'd hope that it doesn't have overhang. I don't know, chat. I don't know what they're talking about. It's a great case.
I like it.
it's not bad.
It's definitely like it's not one I'd build my own rig in. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm not in love with it. I think for I think for $60,
Yeah,
it's
60
hard to
bucks is
beat
pretty
that.
good. I'm just glad the motherboard doesn't overhang, so they at least have that going for themselves, you know.
It's no Montec Air 100, but it's up there.
Talk about a basic case.
Who all
Classy.
has seen the new Montauk cases at Computex?
No,
There's a lot of them.
I'm not surprised.
Oh,
They pump it out cases.
They pump out cases. Where's Okinos isn't even at
I feel like
Computex? I don't think.
There's a few companies like that who I swear
is
will
McAllister
have,
not
like,
here yet?
No.
they'll
He's
have,
a
like,
Trame.
20
Oh.
new cases a year,
Oh, shit.
but by the end of the year, only 3 of them remain. Like,
Yeah,
they
they-
20 new ones. They push them out, and then they don't do like super amazing. They just cut it. And they end up with 3 out of the 20 as like their cases.
It's raid time, chat.
Great time.
Great time.
There you are.
Yeah, I really want to build in the HSO1 and HSO2.
By the way,
from,
for that
Montauk.
today's video,
They're
just throw
they're
the job.
sitting somewhere in this office.
King 95.
King 95 is good. King 95 Pro.
Okay.
Yeah, we used that case a lot when it first came out.
Well, that's a nice case. Looks big as fuck though.
It's pretty big. That's a 32-pound shipping for sure. Let's see if before we raid, I want to show you guys one of my builds that I planned in it a long time ago. Actually, it's on the Toasty Bros account. Let's throw it back.
I don't see one. I think you're good.
Is there a guide to the raid, guys?
No way you called us big heads and little chunks.
I'm gonna start getting toxic again. Here it is. This is a fun build. I enjoyed this one.
Noctua one?
That's a King 95.
Or are those Noctua fans in it? Or
No, those are the AX
Oh, it's just
120s.
orange. From where I'm at, they look brown.
Mhm.
That's nice. Guide the raid to Zach's desk. We're going crazy at my station.
Everyone get a flight.
You would come to work with me stream, just watch me play TFT and sit on my phone. I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
All right, we're rating pathetic. Wolf, I don't know, World. Who knows? It's cut off for me. See you guys. We're out of here.